this town presents an opportunity for all walks of life, no matter where you come from, what you look like. I I don't know when is it that you say that you're really an Atlantan. I'm almost about to cross 30 years, but I still feel like it takes a few decades to uh to really enjoy and appreciate what Atlanta and the Georgia community is. But I really want to hear kind of your story,
Yeah.
because it is a very non-linear path in life, and it goes in so many different directions. So let's start with birth. Birth, yeah, or even earlier.
Yeah.
Where's the family from? Where did everybody come in from?
Well, if you wanna go birth, I was born, on Boulevard, basically, what used to be Georgia Baptist and then became Atlanta Medical Center, in the heart of downtown, and not the best part of the city, and then has since been closed. So I was literally born and raised here. My father was a journalist and had been transferred to Atlanta from New York. He worked for ABC News and was a correspondent, and he had been transferred from New York to Atlanta because they said to him, "Hey, this Martin Luther King thing in Atlanta is getting really big, and we need a bureau in Atlanta. Go find out what this is all about." And this was early on. Go find out what this is all about. And so my family, before I was born, my dad and my then born sister and mom moved to Atlanta. So I credit Dr. King for being a native Atlantan, and I love this city, and I'll always have a presence here, no doubt.
So going backwards, so you're growing up here.
Yeah.
I know we have a few people who were born and raised here. If you raise your hand, I know a handful of team members um, were born and raised here. But that part of town has gone through a lot of transformation, is an understatement. Tell us kind of like how the back and forth of coming in to Atlanta and seeing its development, especially in that area, and especially this week
Yes.
with MLK Day on Monday. How has that really transformed, and how have you seen the evolution of the culture of Atlanta growing up in the community?
Yeah, that's a great thing. I mean, I'm a very loyal and proud Atlantan, and we have this rich and complicated history. I'm sure you all, if you studied any history, you know that Atlanta is the cradle of the civil rights movement. That's undeniable, obviously. Um, but in addition to that, as you all may know, I mean, I'm 56, so I really remember and understand growing up in an era when A Man in Full was written, right? The great Tom Wolfe novel. And there was a key moment in Atlanta's history that was old white money in the 60s and the civil rights movement. And the old white money got together and said, "What are we going to do? We have a choice to make." And they decided, for probably lots of different reasons, some were pragmatic, some were business minded, some were social minded, and they all came together and coalesced around the notion of, if we embrace it and we lean into our better instincts, with the African American community and the movement, we can change the trajectory of Atlanta. Thank God they were right. And so that is the heartbeat of this city. It's why we have been able to be the Atlanta way. It doesn't mean we don't have our warts, and it doesn't mean that we've ebbed and flowed. But in my view, and yes, I'm biased, but in my view, that this town presents an opportunity for all walks of life, no matter where you come from, what you look like. I really feel that Atlanta is a place where if you're willing to work your butt off, every single hiring person and business leader in this town is like, "Great." That's my take. What do you think?
Absolutely. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, and I had heard about Southern hospitality, but I didn't really understand what it meant. Now, there's two sides to that. The downside is people can't say no. They just keep stringing it on and on and on. On the other side, the loyalty is for life. And, I think there's Atlanta and then there's Georgia. In a lot of ways, there's some connection, but there's a lot of differences from that standpoint. And I'll tell you, even coming here, I was a little afraid. I was like, what's outside? Maybe not what's outside the perimeter, what's outside in greater Georgia. And what I found is some of the most wonderful, loyal people that I've ever met in my entire life